Welcome to another Reddit episode taken from r/AskingSingapore. Why Singapore? I don't know. They apparently have issues with catfishes, so yeah.
Are you kidding me?
First story. Met a girl from a dating app, had a fake accent and boasted being an executive and Ivy League graduate. Straight up asked why I didn't bring her a present. She got one for every first date she went before. Excuse me, what? Like a child? Did she need a bribe to stay on the date? Maybe she's used to dating sugar daddies. Or maybe that's what she wanted. Probably her MO. Some may have fallen for that. Maybe she's used to flowers. Maybe she's single for a reason. Said we were incompatible as her job title was administrative executive and mine was IT. I can literally see both of you working in the same building. But nice to know she has a self-esteem. I can see it across the world. I share that I enjoy taking public transportation and she laments that she wants a partner who drives. Wasn't happy I spoke Singlish. So this guy went on a date with a contrarian. He was gonna lose either way. And I get the first date is a broad introduction of yourself to a potential partner, but to start with, I wanna do with a car, shows how shallow you are. And probably this is her containing her true colors. Singlish is Singaporean English, very common. I don't know where she comes from, but either way, you're in Singapore dating someone there. What did you expect? How dare he speak the language from the region she is currently in? Paid for the meal and sent her home. Asked if I will call her again. I said no. Oh, how could you dismiss an executive supermodel like that? She still got a free meal out of you though. And to be honest, the reason she does that is either to get free food or because you really think she's a hot shot. OP, chin up, value yourself, and don't let people step over you because you will only be opening the door to the worst. Best of luck. Next story. Met a girl on a dating app. She had taken forever to reply. Finally agreed on a day to meet. She picked the date and time and place convenient to her location. Didn't even ask where I stayed, which was across the country. She never replied on the day itself until 15 minutes before the actual date. So I was still home because I thought I got ghosted. Why did you accept that though? Her calling all the shots is crappy, but you allow it. Not only that, but after you thought you were ghosted by this girl, she called you and you ran across the country to meet her. I hope you got some action after that. I took a grab over and she wasn't there. She suddenly suggests that we postpone it. I was like, but I'm already here. So she finally reached an hour late and said she had to be somewhere. She seemed like she was rushing through everything. She promptly left within 5 minutes and I just wasted my time. It was so ridiculous and honestly horrible. Oh, but I mean, she gave you a lot of creepy red flags from the beginning and you refused to see it. You were willing to bend over backwards for a stranger that was not doing the same towards you. As I see it, she wanted dinner. Probably she canceled on you because she was going to eat somewhere. There are so many stories of women that use dating apps to eat. Like, they don't have money for their meals, so they con men to go on a date, but not because of attraction, but because they are hungry. Weird. Another one was this girl who seemed alright when texting, but when we met, she was a lot bigger in person and she kept humble bragging about her body's potential and how guys always want her for that. Which was a bit awkward for me, but I told her I wasn't comfortable with her putting me in that category, seeing how we just met and I haven't made any comments on her body. Suddenly she freaked out and said, "You remind me of what my ex said," like she was having some panic attack. I waited for a bit to make sure she was alright and then I asked to leave. I haven't really used the app since. Too traumatic. Okay, now we have a true example of a catfish. Are we in the same page here? Lying is bad, whether it's on pictures or actions or words, especially on first dates. That's just dumb. This girl lied and after being called out, tried to play the victim. No ma'am, you are not the victim, you are a liar. I will never understand overly tweaking pictures to look nothing like yourself and use them on a dating profile. That's some self-hatred right there. Listen, if your profile picture shows someone with hair, proportions that show your height, and chiseled jaw, but a bald, short, and overweight guy appears instead, nothing wrong with that, by the way. Chemistry doesn't care about all of those things. I will be puzzled. And then overcompensating with an overly enlarged self-esteem that's clearly only lip service that will crumble at the sight of reality? It's not good. This is a person who's not ready to date and needs to talk to someone. Best of luck with everyone involved in this story. One more. Met a guy from OkCupid for brunch, and while walking to the cafe, he asked if he could take a photo of my feet and claimed it was for a charity project. I was taken aback and politely declined, but he grew more and more insistent. I stood my ground and refused to take off my shoes. He started insulting me and said, "Look inside your heart and ask yourself if you are a good person." Nice manipulation tactic, bro. Trapping her and then ask for feet pics. She would have asked what charity needs pictures of women's feet. But like, out loud? She will have said it out loud for everyone to notice that he was asking her for inappropriate pictures of herself because of charity. Or, skedaddle out of there. I was extremely disturbed at this point, but suggested continuing on the cafe and forgetting about what just happened. No ma'am, there is no coming back from that one. He showed you how much of a creep he is with that weird request, and he also showed you he has no chill because he asked you in public. I felt him sulking next to me as we walked, until finally I couldn't take it anymore and demanded we settle the issue. Things escalated into a shouting match. He said he was being nice and accommodating when I asked to have brunch instead of a picnic at a botanical garden like he originally suggested. Called me an ungrateful bitch, and that thanks to you, my day is ruined. I shot back, yeah, well, my day is ruined too. Ugh, another one with child issues. Imagine, I changed the location for you. The least you could do is show me your boobs. Then we are even. I was done with our non-date and turned around and headed back to the station. After a while, I heard him running and shouting behind me, but I ignored him and kept on walking. His footsteps grew louder and he suddenly shoved me roughly from behind and blocked my path. I started to say, "I don't know how your parents raised you," and he cut me off and shouted at me not to bring his parents into it and said, "Can you see yourself now? Do you know how ugly you look? You look like you're going to cry." Of course, he's a bully. That's the only way he can get anything in life. Stealing, shouting, pushing, criminal behavior. Hence why bullying needs to be addressed. These kids will grow up being completely incapable of socializing normally. I was sick and tired of this shit. Deleted our WhatsApp chat, his number in front of him, made him delete the chat and my number, and told him I never want to see or hear from him again. Good thing everything is in public. I don't know how much good is it, but at least there's a possibility of a business recording everything. I hadn't eaten or drank anything that day and was feeling faint. I shot panicked glances at the private houses, hoping that someone would be drawn to the commotion and come to my aid. But I was disappointed that the few people I saw standing in the driveway or at the window quietly retreated into their homes. I thought of making a desperate dash for freedom, but I was scared he would overpower me, so I pleaded him to let me go. Eventually, he stepped aside and I brushed past him and walked really fast without looking back. When I reached the station, I ran into the nearest cubicle and sat there shaking for half an hour. Listen, conspiracy theorists here, he could have totally drugged her when he shoved her. He will be wearing gloves though. But honestly, I don't think that happened. I think your adrenaline and fear were at an all-time high, plus you didn't eat or drink anything during that day. You were experiencing your brain in a state of panic. Your heart was racing too fast, making you dizzy. This happened years ago and it's hands down the worst experience I have ever had. I didn't meet anybody for a long time after that. In the comments, someone linked a news article from a man using the same MO, possibly the same person who did this to OP. The charity is called Barefoot Walking Society, made up by him, of course. Some of his victims did let them take pictures and then they were, touched inappropriately by him. As in, he will creepily caress their feet. He was jailed for 2 weeks and now everyone knows how he looks like. This was a horror story. I'm sorry, OP, this happened to you. Thankfully, you are here talking about this, and keep in mind, you did nothing wrong. This guy deceived you and all his victims. It's not like you didn't see anything, but there wasn't anything up until he asked for the pics. Again, thankfully you didn't take him to your house or someplace more intimate. Let's just remember, everyone is a stranger and on the first date, everyone will be hiding their darkest secrets. So what they show you first is just a glimpse of what they truly are. Best of luck, OP. What do you think of these stories? Leave me your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. It really helps. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.
How could he leave me?
I don't know, you seem lovely.